Viewers, racist attacks targeting members of the Indian community are drawing global outrage. Now, in the latest in Los Angeles, a 70-year-old Sikh man, Harpal Singh, remains in a coma as we get to this bulletin after a brutal assault near a Gurdwara. He was in fact struck repeatedly with a golf club in what many are calling a hate crime. While a suspect has been arrested, the Sikh community is demanding the authorities officially recognize the racial motivation behind the attack. Listen in.
It's been 1 week since this brutal assault happened. We do not have answers. The suspect is at large. Right. But let me tell you, today I spoke with LAPD Commander-in-Chief Jim McDonnell, and he assured me that the LAPD is leaving no stone unturned. That means, and that includes, all theories are on the table. We do not yet know what the motive was, and if the motive involves hate or bias. I am making a plea to you on behalf of Mr. Singh. If you have any information, whatever information you have, you can leave an anonymous tip. The number is 1-800-222-8477.
Now, that was Los Angeles, but that's not the entire story. In fact, it's not even half the story. Across the northern border in Canada, disturbing footage showed how a group of teenagers, in fact, harassed an Indian couple with racial slurs and threats. Now, one 18-year-old has been arrested and charged with a hate crime. Now, the video has sparked widespread condemnation and renewed calls to address rising hate incident in the country. Meanwhile, over in Ireland, a major cultural celebration, the India Day, has been postponed or has been forced to be postponed due to a surge in racially motivated attacks, now including one involving a young Indian child as well. The Irish president, meanwhile, has strongly condemned the violence, urging action against growing xenophobia. As incidents rise across borders, viewers, communities are demanding not just action from authorities, but they're demanding accountability. My colleague Maha Siddiqui, meanwhile, joins me for more on this from Vancouver. Maha, we've seen a spike in attacks and hate crime against the Southeast Asian community, specifically Indians. We also saw what the Conservative Party is saying over there in Canada. Does there seem to be more than, are these incidents more than just scattered? Is there a pattern to all of these incidents?
Well, there has been an anti-immigrant sentiment that has been rising in Canada ever since after the COVID pandemic, since the economic situation in Canada has seen a downturn. There has been a housing crisis. There has been a rising inflation. And mostly we have seen in cases of this nature, without any evidence, the first set of people who are blamed for all these problems, and it is politically convenient as well. In countries, it is to blame the immigrants. And that kind of sentiment has risen in Canada, even though the Canadian government now recognizes this as a worrying factor and a matter of concern, considering that for 5 decades, Canada welcomed immigrants with open arms. They are concerned as to why there has been a turn in that sentiment in Canada, which was not seen as we have seen in other countries, specifically down south in the United States. Now, this matter particularly that has come to light from Scarborough, we have seen one arrest already in this matter. One 18-year-old has been identified in the case, though there were at least 2 other youth along with him in that car, and they had harassed and also made racial comments, racially motivated comments against the Indian couple in that parking lot in Scarborough. This 18-year-old has been arrested, who's been accused in this case, is from the Gurdwara Lake region. Right. And also he will be presented he has to present himself in court on the 16th of September. So certainly worrying there. And the Canadian government will now have to see how to address this issue.
That's precisely not just justice, but accountability, as we said.